Well, we started immigration consulting in 1994. It's been a good, excellent journey. And today we are a team of almost 200 with offices all across India. And what makes us unique and our niche is that we deal with more than 15 global jurisdictions and provide services across the spectrum of for skilled professional, tradesperson, businessmen, investors, startups, entrepreneurs, students wanting to go abroad, visit visas, so you name it. The entire global mobility spectrum of services Abhinav Immigration Services is pleased to provide. Well, the most difficult thing, and then the Canadian Skilled Professionals Program under Express Entry is the most popular program. So is the studying in Canada. That also is a very popular pathway to get the Canadian PR visa. The most difficult situation comes in because of English language test proficiency, because people do not have the required CRS ranking, because under the Express Entry program you have cutoff points. So when the cutoff point comes in, majority of candidates in the pool do not meet the requirement. Could be overweight, could be qualification, could be English qualification, could be experience. Now that means they do not meet the eligibility criteria, and that's where they seek consultation from experts, immigration experts like Abhinav Immigrations. Candidates face challenges on account of overage, on account of qualifications, English language proficiency, CRS ranking. Being an entrepreneur, being an HNI, one may not get an invite under skilled professional program. One may not get an invite to apply for Canada PR visa under Canadian Experience class when you go to study in Canada. So what is the option? The option is Canada Startup Visa. You could be a skilled professional, still apply for one. You could be a startup founder, still apply for one. You could be not qualified by, really speaking, a high-end qualification like postgraduate degree or an undergraduate degree, could be just a 12th class pass. Your English language proficiency could be low end. Doesn't matter. All these areas, you have some experience, work experience, professional experience, business experience. We have a solution for you. Canada Startup Visa Program. Really speaking, the eligibility criteria is very simple. We need to have a startup founder. Now, the startup project that is there, that should be viable, scalable. With these two qualities, these two eligibility criteria being met, that startup founder can have 4 more co-applicants in the group. Each of those co-applicants can perform a certain role depending by their experience. One could be having a marketing specialization, one would be having a finance specialization, one could be a COO, one could be a CEO. So along with the technology founder, the eligibility criteria permits 4 co-applicants and their families to apply under one Canada Startup PR visa application. And that's where our role as an Abhinav Immigration Services consultant comes in. We have been doing it since 2019. We are one of the few consulting companies that have successful startup groups from India. And we have multiple groups, more than 50 groups going on as I speak, under Canada Startup Visa Program. And we work with a host of incubators across Canada. We need a startup founder with a viable and scalable technology. Once that's there, you identify the other co-applicants, because there can be a maximum of 5 group members in a Canada Startup Visa Program. Those members can perform roles CFO, COO, CEO. You're talking of CMO. You're talking of, marketing. You could name any number of professional qualifications, the experience, and that can meet the requirement of being a co-applicant. And once that's been done, we approach one of the designated organizations of IRCC. It could be an incubator, VC, or a PE. We normally work with incubators a lot, some of the best incubators in Canada. Now you make a presentations to an incubator. That incubator at times runs an accelerated program. They have their own selection criteria, eligibility assessment. Once they have gone through your project, met the co-applicants and all the group members, they may choose. Some incubators may not choose. The incubator which chooses your program then issues you what's called a letter of support. Now this entire process, starting from selection of the project to letter of support, depending on the incubator, can take anywhere between 3 to 6 months time, because in between you need to meet the application requirements, the documentation requirements also. Once the letter of support has been issued, so you have taken already 6 to 9 months roughly, then you apply for your PR visa under the Canada Startup Visa Program. And post that, the entire application process can take another couple of years, at times less, at times more, depending on the jurisdiction, your country of origin from where you are applying your Canada Startup Visa application. And may I add, and that's unique feature of the Canada Startup Visa Program, that in between you want to start your project in Canada, you can even apply for work permit. Your spouse gets open work permit to go with you. Your kids can accompany. So while you're waiting for your PR visa to be, processed, you can even go to Canada under this startup visa program to go and start working on your project. A big advantage for those who have kids going to the university, because when you get a work permit of more than a year, even while you're waiting for your Canadian PR visa to be processed, the child pays the fee as a resident, which means highly subsidized fee at higher education. These are some of the reasons what makes Canada Startup Visa a highly successful, sought after PR visa program. Well, what makes this program very different is practically anybody and everybody who is not meeting the requirements of other Canadian PR visa programs can apply. That's biggest benefit. Second, of course, one needs experience. Second is this, that one can get work permit while the PR visa application is in process. So these, in my opinion, are the two key benefits besides the benefits I earlier explained under the Canada Startup Visa Program. Well, by definition, a startup program is technology based, by definition. So the first key requirement is your idea based on technology? So if it's based on technology, then practically speaking, it could be across the spectrum, edtechs, fintechs, agri-tech. So it could belong to across the entire spectrum of areas as far as technology development is concerned, and as far as filing the application under the Canada Startup Visa Program is concerned. Well, what happens is this, that once your program is selected by an incubator, so obviously, at any incubator, you have PE and VCs, you have assistance of local networks of these incubators that are available to you, the public relations, the social media platforms. So is serious technology in demand, scalable, definitely gets a benefit of attention of these incubators. And I may add that majority of these incubators have active participation in most cases of federal agencies, provincial agencies, and otherwise key stakeholders from the finance or economic side or maybe academic side of the Canadian ecosystem. Well, let's first talk about the context of the technology founders itself. Because technology is technology, a startup belongs to the entire global ecosystem. So, with Canadian Startup Visa, what happens is this. Of course, the primary objective of the Canadian government is to have Canada as a base, as the global base for that startup, from where then it scales out its operations across the world. And to complement that, the Government of Canada, the ecosystem, or otherwise other stakeholders provide the required support, which makes this program highly popular. Well, to start with, one of the key features of this program is that one can file the startup visa application under Canadian program as a group of 5. That's highly unique because co-applicants are permitted. Second thing, which really makes it very unique against all other programs, is that one gets an unconditional PR visa under the program. Again, because majority of the programs offer a work permit or a temporary visa for startups to go and initiate the initial technology. The third, what makes this program unique, is the option of work permit, filing for work permit while waiting for PR application to be processed.